Yash Aradhya is the youngest individual to win a Formula 4 race in his debut season in the National Racing Championships. It is his dream to win the World Championship soon. Muhammad Zuhair Belgami is an excellent footballer, athlete, and volleyball player. Jawad Ahmed also represents the school in athletics. Raghav Bandhari is a fine goalkeeper. Vedant Banerjee represented the school and the state in athletics and football. We had excellent results as usual, and we are indeed proud of our ISC and ICSE students. The ISC science toppers were Sri Shreyas Sundarasan, who secured the 3rd rank in Karnataka, Shayaz Khan Nayazi, Srijak Sengupta. The ISC commerce toppers were Paras Agarwal, Shaswat Kanodia, Amog Acharya. The humanities toppers were Pratham Junius Rufus, Siddharth Sen, Robert Hangzo. ICSE Science, the toppers were Kiran Bodipatti, Muhammad Uzair Rizwan, Shashank P. The top 3 commerce boys were Rohit Jaju, Neil Jain, Dwaj Chajed. The school captain, Padmanabhan Krishnamurthy, head of day scholars, Udit Srivastava, and head of boarders, Kutumbaka Manvit, attended the Wachong Young Leaders Summit held in Singapore from the 17th to the 27th of July 2016. In October last year, the staff brought back indelible memories from their educational tours to the Holy Land, France, Switzerland, Italy, Malaysia, and Singapore. One of modern India's most dynamic women parliamentarians and former Governor of Maharashtra, Mrs. Margaret Alvar, was the chief guest at our senior and middle prize-giving function held on the 10th of September 2016.
I believe that leadership grows when you question the system. When you ask, why is this happening? Why can't it change? And I challenge you today to think about what you have to do when you are out of the portals of this great institution. You have to lead. You have to be lamps that are lit in the darkness around you.
Miss Ramya, former Member of Parliament and film star, was the guest of honor. He for She, a solidarity campaign for gender equality, was held on the 17th, 18th and 19th of November 2016 in association with UN Women. The chief guests were Mrs. Aishwarya Rajnikant Dhanush and Miss Ramya, Member of Parliament. The guest of honor was UN representative Miss Renita Naik. One of the highlights of the 3-day event was a pledge taken by 6,500 students for the cause of gender equality. The culmination of this event was a cyclothon, marathon, walkathon held on Saturday, the 19th of November 2016. Several distinguished personalities lent their support and even participated in the cyclothon. The Prince of Peace, a spectacular Christmas musical, was staged on the 19th of December 2016. The extraordinary theatrical production, with 1,500 participants, was probably the first of its kind in the whole of India.
You know, a census can mean only one thing: more taxes for Rome.
And for Herod.
Love the Eastern Star that tells us of God's morning. Heaven's wondrous light, oh, never cease thy shining.
It's an angel! It's an angel! Coming this way, towards us! Good news, shepherds!
Lord have mercy!
Oh, mercy.
Listen, shepherds, I bring you good news which will make the whole world glad. A child is born today in Bethlehem. He is the Lord, the chosen leader, the King, the Lord, the Lord.
Glory to God in the highest, peace on the earth, peace on the earth. Glory to God in the highest, peace on the earth, goodwill to men.
You are wrong, strangers. The stars have misled you. I am the King of the Jews, and while I live, no child can be king in this land.
Come, let us adore. Oh, come, let us adore Him, the Lord. Worship Christ, the Lord.
Marcus,
Yes, Your Majesty.
I want an end to this scheme. If this child is born, it shall die. If this new king is born in Bethlehem, I want every possibility of his existence terminated.
Yes, Your Majesty, we will find the child.
Find him then, find him, even if you have to kill every child born in Bethlehem.
The journey is long, Joseph, but God will guide us.
Yes, Mary. We will take Jesus out into the world, and God will be with us wherever we go.
We're singing hallelujah. We're singing hallelujah. We love you well. Our God is with us. We're singing hallelujah. We're singing hallelujah.
audience of nearly 10,000 witnessed this mega production. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream another dream, said the great thinker C.S. Lewis. The journey to graduation truly begins in the kindergarten. All that is sown and nurtured in our students in their formative years of growth from kindergarten finds fruition more than a decade later. At a heartwarming ceremony, 586 boys from standards 10 and 12 graduated on a solemn evening. It was a poignant moment when Padmanabhan Krishnamurthy handed over the mantle of responsibility to school captain designate Adyanth Balaji. Adyanth Balaji, you have been selected as the captain designate. I will now be giving you the mantle of responsibility to lead the school as the next captain for the academic year 2017-18. Accept the school flag as a symbol of all its great traditions, which have been handed down from 1865, generation to generation. The chief guest, Padma Vibhushan, Dr. Montek Singh Ahluwalia, held the boys spellbound with his pragmatic and inspirational address. The guest of honor, Colonel Dr. D.P.K. Pillai, Shaurya Chakra, and Senior Defense Specialist in the National Security Secretariat, inspired the boys with his story of valor and courage under fire. On the same occasion, the school bid farewell to several committed staff members. Mrs. Savitri, ISC English teacher and editor, Cartoonian Magazine. Mrs. Sandra Ellis, kindergarten teacher. Mr. Babu Devadar, PA to the principal. Mr. Shiv Kumar, head of accounts. Mrs. Manyalata David, admin staff. Mr. Sundaramurthy and Mrs. Kaushalya, support staff. My grateful thanks to our spiritual mentor, the Right Reverend Dr. P.K. Samuel, Bishop, Karnataka Central Diocese, and the Chairman of the Board of Management for his unstinting support and guidance. I am grateful indeed to members of the Board of Management for their collaboration, guidance, and generous support. Mr. Reginald Jagdish, Vice Chairman. Mr. Daniel Christopher, Treasurer. The Reverend Prem Mitra. The Reverend Satish Timothy Paul. Mrs. Shobha Stephen. The Reverend Mrs. Jessie Ranjan. The Reverend T. Jacob Ravinder. Mrs. Vinisha Nero. Mr. Devadas Sadhu. Mr. John Rajan. And Mr. K.E. Winfred Joshua. J.R.R. Tolkien, in his dazzling novel, The Lord of the Rings, writes, "All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us." 151 years ago, an Anglican clergyman, whom we honor as our founder, used the brief term he served in our beloved city to set up this institution. Today, the beneficiaries of that momentous decision, in their tens of thousands, span the generations and the globe. This calls for gratitude to the Almighty and to all who have gone before us. May we too be granted the wisdom and the strength to take forward into ever greater glory what has so lovingly been passed on to us. Nec dextrorsum, nec sinistrosum.